What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and welcome to another episode of Black Ops 3 5 Things. This is a series where we look at the small, intricate details of Call of Duty Black Ops 3, sometimes Easter eggs, sometimes other things. Today is one of those examples. Today we're going to be looking at 5 things you didn't know about the game. Now, today we are all over the place. We are looking at score streaks, we are looking at specialist characters, we are looking at some DLC weapons. We are going to be all over the place, and today, more than anything, we are going to be reaching down into the YouTube comments and seeing whether or not the things you say in the comment section are true or whether they're complete bullshit, because a lot of the times I don't even know with these things. So we're going to find out, and what we are going to start with is the gravity spikes. We're going to be looking at the gravity spikes versus some other ground score streaks. Now, there are 3 main ones we are going to be looking at. We're going to look at it versus the sentry gun, then the Cerberus, and then finally the GI unit, because we're kind of going up in tiers every single time. So we started off with the sentry gun, and as far as the sentry gun is concerned, it's a pretty easy thing to kill. You can even use normal weapons to just kind of shoot it and kill it. It's pretty damn simple to kill. So, with no surprise, the gravity spikes went right through this thing like butter. We then went over to the Cerberus. The Cerberus, I thought, would be a little bit tougher. It takes a lot of bullets to kill this thing, and I was surprised. The gravity spikes, again, went through this thing super easily. But then we got to the GI unit, and the GI unit is actually, we've seen before in these videos, really hard to kill. We've put it up against hive drones, we've put it up against other things, and it takes a lot to take down a GI unit. And to no surprise, it actually takes 2 gravity spikes to actually kill a GI unit. It does a lot of damage to the GI unit, however, it just simply does not kill it with one use of a gravity spike. So, just don't try to use it against a GI unit because you're going to get your ass kicked, basically. The next thing I wanted to look at was a new weapon, and that is the Banshee. Now, I read on Reddit that if 2 people have this weapon and fire at each other, and the projectiles hit each other in the air, they will terminate each other, and then they will not kill whoever you were aiming at. So we test this, and we tested it in many ways. We tested it standing up, we tested it laying down, and we thought laying down was kind of the best way to test it because it takes away the vertical aspect of the shot, and you're only left with the horizontal aiming of the shot. We did this a few times, and we could not get it to work. We tried and tried and tried, and it did not terminate each other. I even have video here of them very slowly going past each other, making contact, and just kind of going through each other. I do not think it's possible for a Banshee to terminate another Banshee's shot, but you can let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you ask me, this right here shows evidence of them touching and not terminating each other. So this one, I would have to say, is 100% not true. Speaking of these, though, if you guys have any questions or ideas of things I've never covered before in these videos, like 5 things you didn't know kind of thing, you could let me know down in the comment section below some things I've missed or some things that you found through playing the game, and maybe I'll use your ideas in some future videos. But the next one was 100% from the comment section on YouTube. Before we actually tested the hive drones against the glitch ability, and when you use glitch, it actually gets you away from hive drones. It saves you, and you do not die from said hive drones. So I thought we'd test it against a couple of other things. The first thing I wanted to test it against was water. If you jumped in water after triggering a hive drone, did it disable the bugs? Could they not swim underwater? And 100% these are magical bugs that can fly above water and below water, and they don't even slow down, so apparently friction's not a thing in Call of Duty. But yeah. The next thing I wanted to test is whether Spectre's active camo will actually not trigger the hive drone. So if you have active camo active, will it not trigger the drones? And it turns out that it 100% does. The drones trip and they kill you very, very quickly, so I would suggest not trying that if you use it in game. And then finally, I wanted to tell you guys a way where you could counter these drones, and one of those ways is by using Heat Wave. Firebreak's Heat Wave tears through these things. If you hear that pop noise that the drones make, instantly pull off the L1 and R1 buttons, or the left bumper and right bumper, and you will completely destroy all those little pesky bugs, and you will stay alive. So if there's 2 ways I could give you to get rid of these pesky critters, it would be glitch, and it would also be Heat Wave. Those are the 2 ways to get rid of those damn bugs, and they work pretty damn well. The next one I found really interesting, I don't know if you guys will, but I find it really interesting, is care packages. Care packages you can't call in certain areas. For example, you can't call them in a building, you can call them in through a window, but you can't call them in where anything is covering it, whether that be under a tree or in a building. Another spot where you may not know you can't call in care packages is on water. You can't call a care package in above water. Now, I had this idea that I didn't know what would happen happen when a care package stumbled into water. Now, you can do this a couple ways by throwing a care package on top of another care package and it falling off, or just putting it on a ledge like I'm doing right here. And guess what? It does absolutely nothing. When it hits that ledge and falls into the water, you're still able to retrieve that care package. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't blow up, it doesn't do any of that. You're still able to retrieve it. So why you can't call in a care package on water, I don't know. But if they fall in water, you don't have to worry. So you don't have to worry about calling in a care package too close to water. The next one, guys, is a serious subject. The next one is suicide. We are going to talk about the ways you can and cannot kill yourself in Black Ops 3. Now, there's several of these. Now, and I got asked this a few times. Now, as everyone knows, there is certainly ways to kill yourself in this game, whether that be jumping off the side of a map, or whether that's throwing a grenade at an unfortunate place and killing yourself. There's plenty of ways to do it, let's face it, but there's some ways that aren't quite as certain. One way, for example, is thermite grenades. I didn't know if these would deal damage to yourself, but of course they do, and they actually deal quite a bit of damage to yourself. So, that one 100% does. Now, another one I was curious about was when you call in a score streak, for example, a Talon, the one that follows you around. Can the Talon actually kill you? And if you shoot it, it 100% can kill you. And if it's following you and you jump in front of its bullets, it's rare, but it actually does deal damage to you and can kill you. So in a previous episode, we actually tested whether the explosion when a Talon blows up, when the timer runs out, can it actually kill someone? And it 100% can. We tested it in another episode and it can kill an enemy. So I wanted to test this and see if that explosion could kill yourself. And guess what? It can't. It can't, and it does for really, really good reason. Normally, there's two ways to use the talent. You can control it, or you can let it follow you. And if it's following you and it's going to blow up, it's going to deal damage to you, and that would be a very frustrating thing. So it makes sense that it can deal damage to enemies, but it can't to you, because if it did, that would be extremely, extremely frustrating. And the final way of killing yourself that I want to talk about is jumping off of buildings. Now, in this game, I know this isn't a big thing because there is not a ton of fall damage in this game. However, if you play hardcore, it is actually possible to kill yourself, as you see right here. So I found a spot where if you jump from, you land, it's gonna kill you. And the idea is that if you jump from high enough and then slide, you won't actually receive damage, or if you do receive damage, you'll receive less damage. Now, this height right here is interesting because right here I'm playing with 30% health, and that's the exact amount of health you have when playing hardcore. And I found this exact height where if I jump, it kills me perfectly. If I jump from any lower, it doesn't kill me at all. So it deals exactly 30 damage from falling from this height. And I tried sliding when I hit the ground, and what actually happens is it makes the sliding noise and your character goes into the sliding movement, but you die. You don't get away from any damage. It doesn't stop any damage. It deals just as much damage whether you try to slide or not. And this is the exact same whether you have boost or do not have boost. So if your meter is completely empty or your meter has a little bit of boost left in it, that slide will not relieve any damage from falling. So it actually doesn't make any difference, because some people wonder that if you're about to get in a gunfight and you're going to take fall damage, if you slide, are you going to take less fall damage? It's actually a pretty important thing to know when getting into gunfights after jumping from a high space in the map. And it doesn't do anything. Sliding makes absolutely no difference. You take the same amount of damage whether you slide or do not slide. Alright, well, how do you avoid this fall damage? The way to do it is simply boost, just tap that boost just a little bit, so that jump button just a little bit right before you land, and guess what? It doesn't only reduce the fall damage, it completely negates it. There's absolutely no fall damage if you just tap that boost once before landing. No fall damage. You don't have to worry about it ever again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. That is the 5 things you may or may not have known about Black Ops 3, and you can let me know which ones you did or didn't know down in the comment section below, along with some ideas you have for this series in the future. And if there's some good ones, I will for sure feature them in future episodes. Speaking of future episodes, if you enjoyed this video and you made it this far, it would be fantastic if you'd leave a like rating. Let's see how many likes we can get on this thing, and if, let's say we get 3,000 likes or more on this video, we will do another one of these very, very soon. So let me see how much you guys enjoy these type of videos by hitting that like button. And if you are new to the channel, it would be absolutely fantastic if you could hit that red subscribe button down below. By hitting that red subscribe button, you will be notified whenever I upload a new Call of Duty video, which, guess what, is every single day of the week. So if that sounds like something that interests you, that red subscribe button is sitting there with your name on it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I love every single one of you, and until next time, Peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I want